Um, if you haven't seen this episode of Doctor Who yet, it's just spoilers. But I'm not a fan of. Okay, it's goofy. I think the last two episodes of this series of Doctor have been kind of goofy. I don't know exactly if it's been explained or as to like what happened or like I don't know how. Like I don't know what sense it makes within the confines of its own meta. I don't understand within the confines of its own storytelling. I don't get the okay. I don't get. Maybe I'm like Aaron and Game Grumps are going to dangle on for free. Maybe I'm an idiot. Maybe I'm an idiot. But okay, so basically, there's a two-part season last week and this week. It runs about 2 hours. Last week, nothing happened. Like literally nothing goddamn happened. No, there was no real. There was like a brief kernel of a story, but the story kind of like went nowhere and nothing really happened. And Rani kind of existed, and when I existed, this was like, we created this fake world so that you could doubt it. And then once you created the doubt, we could then create stuff. Anyway, here's Conrad reading a book. No camera wa takasugimasu. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it. Um, here's more Conrad. アメリカ人ドラマさん、こんばんはら、私ロボットです。あ、こんばんはら、こんばんはら。今10時です。私は日本人です。that's correct. And basically, essentially, Rani kidnapped the baby because the baby was one of the, you guessed it, 500,000 gods. Because every single bloody episode of what's it named episode of Doctor Who has to include another goddamn god of a pantheon. Because heaven forbid, Buster Davis can go one goddamn second in his second turnaround. Let's just bring in a new god. Here's a god of a fucking cinema. It's Alan Cumming again. Here's a god. It's a baby. Look at this baby. It's a god. You know why it's a god? Because it doesn't cry. Here's a god of you. Here's the god of Yellowface. Only it's not Yellowface anymore. It's Neil Patrick Harris. Here's the gods of. Wait 1 second. Wait 1 second. This is the gods of. The god of. Banker Puchin. The bank of 10 Polish money. And this god is actually Malcolm McDowell. Don't ask where I got that from. I don't know. I don't care. Um, so they create this whole like fake world where like the Doctor has a baby with his companion, and then they need to try and like go back to the real world because the world's ending, whatever. And nothing happens apart from that in the last 10, so like that's 2 minutes. And then this one, the Doctor's going down, and here's a door. It's a door. And remember the companion from the Christmas special? She is back in pop form. Anyway, now the companion of the Doctor's back, and basically the game plan to defeat the baby, and the reason to defeat the baby is just doors. You can open a door, and the baby is. And the Rani's entire game plan is destroyed by someone opening a door, a hotel door, and, and because they opened the hotel door, um, Varani's plan, which Varani's entire game plan was to make the Doctor doubt Varani's existence. And okay, so they talk about how now the Doctor has a daughter, and then the Doctor's like, "Oh, I had a daughter." Before the Doctor already had a daughter, which is beforehand, but they don't bring her back for some reason. I don't think it's Georgia Matt's back. Um, and so there's the baby and the doctors of the baby, and then people talk, and then they fucking talk, and then they have a ramble, and then oh, here's this person, here's this fucking person's time to have like a 12-minute solo. Okay, here's another person talk. We could get to the point. We could get to the point, but we've got another 2.5 fucking hours to space it out. So no one's doing anything. No one's acting. No one's. Everyone's just talking. They're just looking at each other and they're just talking. Have a nice little chin wag. Have a nice. And so then they create something. And basically, it's a transatlantic teleporter. And basically, the reason why the baby, no, the second baby, the doctor and his companion's daughter is special because the doctor can't give birth, even though the fucking Susan is the grand. I don't know if I was not paying attention. I don't know if it's post Time War. The Time Lords can't give birth, or if it's been since the beginning of the existence. The Time Lords can't give birth. But if it's from the entirety of the existence, then why is the granddaughter? Why is Susan exist? I understand the reason why Susan exists outside. Like I understand outside of kayfabe. The understand the reason why Susan exists is because originally Susan wasn't supposed to be the Doctor's granddaughter. She was supposed to be, I believe, like a queen, like an alien queen, pretending to be a child, and that was entirely the reason why. But then they were like, okay, how about we just condense it and just saying Susan is the Doctor's granddaughter? I know for kayfabe reason, like out of kayfabe, I know that's the reason why. But if the Doctor, and also, who is the original Time Lord? Because like Omega's the OG Time Lord, and since classic series, but in this series, thanks to Jodie Whittaker's Chris Chibnall's reign, Doctor Who, the Doctor was the OG Time Lord who came in and they basically did experiments. And why was okay, did experiments on the Doctor as a child to basically I think I'm told to birth regeneration to the Gallifreyans of Time Lords. So who is who? Who? Okay, so there's two major plot holes of this entire existence, which I wouldn't mind it if they actually fucking did anything. But there's only 2 minutes. It's like 2 minutes of shit happening. For 2 minutes of happening, is Rennie shows up. Rennie basically opens a portal to Omega. Omega is now Sutek again. I don't know why. Omega is now not Omega. It's now a massive bone demon thingy, which picks up a Ranny, eats Ranny, and then pick up the annoying one because the annoying one disappears because heaven forbid, whatever. And then the Doctor then just Ghostbusters Omega back into Omega's house, and then closes the portal, and that's it. Okay, cool. So they beat the monster, they beat the threat, and there's now like 40 minutes remaining. So what do they do? Do they do anything? No, they just talk. They just talk. And then Ruby's like, hang on a second. There was a baby. Now the baby, not my baby, not this baby. There was another baby, an older baby. That older baby was called Poppy. What is Poppy? And then the doctor's like, there was no Poppy. And then they go back to unit, and fucking everyone goes to the doctor and is like, the doctor, you are now my father. In a sense, doctor, you are my father. You are all our fathers. You're my father. 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 And so the doctor's like, well, I'm everyone's dad. Might as well just go back and try and find this non-existent child. So instead of going to where the space babies, instead of going, I don't know when they can just go to the space babies and pick up the space baby and bring it back. The doctor's fucking answer is just to kill himself. The doctor's answer, instead of fucking going to the space zone where the space babies were and picking up Bobby from beforehand and bringing Bobby back, it's in final fault. It's to fucking kill himself. And then John Wick appears out of nowhere, and he's like, "Why are you killing yourself? You don't have to." And then he's like, "Yes, I do." And so he's like, "I love you." He's like, "You have your Indian girlfriend and my Indian girlfriend. We're gonna fucking tell my Indian girlfriend I love her too. Toodaloo." And she disappears. But then guess what, baby? The doctor returns to a different time zone, and for some reason, the doctor's like, and the time zone now basically lasts 5 seconds. It's just that. So now the doctor's fucking like, okay, cool. There's no time zone, and there's this fucking other person who's the father of this space baby. Who's not a space baby? She's a real baby. And she's a real baby from the Philippines. And it doesn't make any sense. So the doctor then dies. The doctor decides to die, and then the doctor just regenerates into Rose Tyler because Russell T Davis only knows she has a Rolodex of only 3 actors. Anyway, this episode is goofy. This episode sucks. I'm going downstairs to watch Castle 2.